Welcome to Whisky.com, where fine spirits meet. My name is Horst Lüning, and I'm the master taster of Whisky.com. And today we have a new bottle here on my cask. It's the Singleton of Dufftown Sunray, 40% ABV. And this is a new bottling from the Dufftown distillery, the famous and old Dufftown distillery in the city of Dufftown. Rome was built on 7 hills, Dufftown was built on 7 stills. So it's the hidden capital of this Scotch whiskey, malt whiskey distillation, the city of Dufftown. And here the marketeers added the Singelton to the distillery name, the Singleton of Dufftown. Here you can see the Singleton, and Dufftown is very small here below. This whiskey is called the Sunray, and it's smooth, honeyed, and intense. The Singleton, the name the Singleton, was the first time used for the Auchroisk whiskey. And then the Auchroisk distillery, I think, was sold to Bacardi, if I remember right. And the Singelton, the brand, the Singleton, was left empty, without a filling, without a whiskey filling, and so they used the Singleton for the Dufftown distillery, and the name of this distillery becomes smaller and smaller and smaller, and the Singleton is getting bigger, and typically the whiskey is sold as the Singleton. I don't know whether this is right or wrong, because for me it's very important where the whiskey originally came from. The name the Singleton is something for marketeers, not for the connoisseur. The connoisseur wants to know the pedigree. So this whiskey is quite cheap, and it's headed for the supermarkets, I think. So there the connoisseurs aren't very often. So perhaps the Singleton is the right way to name this bottle. The appearance is old, it's flat bottle, it's light green, as the old bottles were when you weren't able to produce a real clear glass. So, and on the back they say, the Singleton. We're on a mission to create great tasting single malt Scotch whiskies that burst with flavors. The smooth yet intense character of Sunray comes from maturation in toasted oak casks, specially selected to deliver a honeyed vanilla sweetness with aromas for black currant and baked apple. The toasted oak casks won't bring the honey or the black currant. This is done by the yeast during the fermentation process. But the vanilla sweetness, this will come from the maturation in the oak casks. Sunray, burst of light. So let's see. Wonderful vanilla, really. Very sweet, very smooth. No sharpness, no alcohol. 40% ABV keeps the sharp notes low. Baked apple. Floral notes. Yes, and black currants. Caramel. This is typically American oak ex-bourbon casks. And the fruitiness comes from the yeast, from the fermentation process. taste is not that smooth. No, there's a youthness in this whiskey. Drier, light metallic. There's the sweetness. There's the vanilla. There's a mild spiciness from the casks. But this whiskey is young. I don't know whether it's 3 years or 5 years or 7 years. Whenever you look at big corporations, then the whiskey might be 3 years and a day. But you can't say how old it really is. Perhaps it is 5 or 7 years. There are several Dufftowns on the market, Singleton of Dufftowns with 12 years, 15 years, 18 years. So they have an age statement on it, and I tasted them already, and they are more mature. All right, they are more expensive, of course. But this one, I think, is a young one. This must not be bad, no? Perhaps it's more intense, more fruit, more fresh fruit. But I prefer a little more maturation. A little longer maturation. A lot of vanilla. But I can't get the honey. No, I'm sorry. It's a good whiskey. It's not that cheap. It's worth the money, but you have to be aware that it might be younger than others. So with the name, the Singelton, perhaps they're not heading or aiming at the connoisseur, but aiming at the beginners who start to buy their first single malt in the supermarket. Thank you for watching Whisky.com. There's more to come, another Dufftown tomorrow. Feel free to share this video with your friends and discuss this video on our newly opened forum. Thank you very much.